Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to our YouTube live stream today, where we're covering one of the hottest destinations in Europe. Spain is one of the hottest destinations for foreign workers, investors, professionals, and families looking to have a base in this Mediterranean country. But as you may all know already, it's that one of those countries that is now changing and closing its Golden Visa program as of April 3rd, 2025. Yes, that's the Golden Visa Residency program for Spain. However, there are other programs Spain also has to offer that are not closing. And today we'll do a side-by-side comparison for the most popular programs to obtain residency in Spain, which can also lead to citizenship. This live stream is unedited, uncensored, nothing but the exposed truth, just like the rest of our videos on our YouTube channel. Quick introduction. My name is Reza, CEO of Ingwe Immigration, your gateway to second, third, fourth, or whatever number of residencies and citizenships you're looking for. We have an active portfolio of more than 20 countries and programs that we've shortlisted and handpicked for your residency and citizenship needs. At Ingwe, we have successfully helped thousands of clients since 2018 from over 55 different countries move or obtain their passport from different countries without even moving there sometimes. We cover Europe, Central America, North America, the Caribbean islands, and even New Zealand. Whether you're seeking fast-track residency, looking to invest in real estate abroad, aiming to retire comfortably, enhance your quality of life, find crypto-friendly tax countries, or perhaps even acquire direct citizenship without moving, whatever you fancy, we have to offer. We do more than just visa assistance. This is an actual customized solution for you and your clients. Governmental policies, cultural language barriers, time zones, little things that you can't find on websites. Our global partnerships and multilingual team speaking 10 languages ensure that no matter where you're from or where you plan to go, we'll have seamless support and our expertise. You can connect with us through our website or the description of this video and fill out our intake form. Let's get into it. So you want to have an EU residency by the Mediterranean? Sure, possible. So if you're looking to secure residency in Spain while enjoying the Mediterranean lifestyle, having the flexibility to travel between your home country and the EU and either running your business remotely or enjoying your retirement, then this is for you. Why Spain? Well, it's one of the highest demand countries in Europe, high quality of life. It actually has the 8th highest ranked medical healthcare system in the world, strong economy, modern infrastructure, and diverse geography. Popular destinations like Marbella, very popular with most of the North Americans and North Europeans, Madrid, which everyone loves, and Alicante. Just to give you an example of where expats look for their benefits, the residency options remain no matter where you want to reside in Spain, it's there. Purchasing property, whether it's an apartment in Madrid or coastal villa in Marbella, can grant you residency in Spain and visa-free access to EU. Provided your nationality requires a visa, well, that visa-free access with this residency is a big game changer. If you're from a visa-exempt country like US, Canada, or other countries, then that's not a huge issue. However, Spain's Golden Visa real estate option is set to end this April 3rd, 2025, following a similar move by Portugal at the end of 2023. Comparing Spain's residency options, which one is right for you? Got the Non-Lucrative Visa, NLV, for retirees or individuals with passive income. We'll explain that further. Digital Nomad Visa for remote workers employed by overseas companies outside of EU. And we'll cover that as well. And Golden Visa for investors, business owners, or anyone who wants to buy a residency through maybe an apartment or any kind of property, which is potentially ending in April. That we will cover as well. Let's break down the details for you. The non-lucrative visa in Spain versus the Golden Visa. Let's look at the big numbers here. The visa is aimed, the non-lucrative, at retirees and individuals with passive income sources, pension, rental income, dividends, interest rates, right? So you don't have to be retired, but you have a lot of passive income that allows you to cover your expenses. You don't need to actually actively work. It allows you to reside in Spain long-term, but does not permit employment or self-employment in the country. Advantages of the NLV are no investment required, no employment necessary. You can include dependent family members. leads to Spanish citizenship after 10 years if you meet the residency requirements. What are the disadvantages? Well, you cannot work or run a business in Spain under this. Your income must come from a non-active source to be eligible. You must meet strict residency requirements to renew it and eventually apply for permanent residency at the 5-year mark, right? So those are the disadvantages. The eligibility for the Spain non-lucrative visa, NLV, means you need financial proof. So 400% of the public multiple effect income indicator, which is basically the government's minimum income, plus 100% per additional member. Okay, so this basically means you can be looking at anywhere from 30,000 euros plus. Depending on your family size, that number can increase. Health insurance, private health insurance is required before applying for this program. Clean criminal record, medical certificate, clean bill of health, and proof of residency. So when you're inside the country, you gotta, where you're applying from, cannot be out of status, just FYI. What about renewals? Well, the NLV, the non-lucrative visa for Spain, is initially valid for 1 year and can be renewed every 2 years after that. After 5 years, applicants may apply for permanent residency, provided they have legally resided in Spain without an absence of 10 months, more than exceeding 10 months during that 5-year period. Potential citizenship eligibility after 10 years, subject to Spanish integration requirements, which is usually language and culture. What about the Spain Golden Visa compared to that? Well, there's no minimum stay requirement while you're a temporary resident in the first 5 years under the Golden Visa, or you acquire a real estate or property and you obtain it. It allows business ownership and employment in Spain. So you're going to work for 10 companies. You could have your own company. You could be doing half-half. You could not be working. So that Golden Visa residency has that flexibility, and it leads to permanent residency and citizenship after 5 years to permanent, and then, of course, after 10 years to for citizenship. So it's much more flexible, although it does require an acquisition in a minimum real estate acquisition of 500,000 euros. Well, what happens after April 3rd, 2025? Spain's Golden Visa is revising the Golden Visa program. It is likely to remove the real estate investment option and follow Portugal's model by focusing on business investments and other kinds of financial contributions. If you want to secure residency through the property option, then you got to be quick, because March this year is the last opportunity or window you have to do the acquisition remotely or going there and then obtaining that Golden Visa residency, because it does take 2-3 weeks to get the paperwork done. So you can't literally come in 2 days before the deadline and file. And keep in mind, pre-construction right now won't qualify because of this looming deadline. So let's look at the digital nomad visa versus the Golden Visa in Spain. The digital nomad visa allows remote workers to live in Spain while working for their foreign companies. It was introduced in response to the rising demand for remote work visa post-pandemic in 2020. What are the advantages of the digital nomad visa? Well, there's no investment required. Temporary residency based on employment with a foreign company can lead to permanent residency if you meet the residency requirements. It's quite simple. What are the disadvantages? Well, spouses or common law cannot work in Spain if you're a digital nomad. Visa must be renewed every year. So every 12 months is a renewal. The main applicant cannot start a business or work for a Spanish employer at all. You cannot derive income from inside Spain through local sources. Residency is only valid for up to 5 years with limited time spent outside of Spain. So if you do want to continue with the permanent residency, it is quite tricky through the digital nomad visa. What are the eligibility? Employment proof, a valid employment contract, minimum 3 months or more. We usually like 6 months to 12 months. If you're freelancer, you need to prove that you've got contracts with companies overseas, that you've got regular income coming in. Financial means proof of at least 200% of the Spain's minimum wage, which is 2,268 per month. For 2024 figures. Additional dependents, 75% of that Spain's minimum wage for the first time, which is 850.50 euros for as per 2024 figures. Health insurance, private health insurance cover is required when you're moving over here. You do need to show employment, health, and the funds available to support yourself, because you're just living there and spending money in Spain. Renewal and conversion to permanent residency for the digital nomad visa. So renewal is every 1 year. It can be renewed every 1 year, of course, after 5, but you still need to meet the continued eligibility. So every year you need to resubmit your employment, your income, right? And you need to meet those requirements every year. So it can't be like, oh, I met the requirements for 3 years, I should be able to renew every other year till 5 years. It doesn't work like that. Every year you got to meet the minimum eligibility requirements again and again. So if there is uncertainty regarding your employment, then maybe this is not the right program for you. After 5 years, holders may apply for permanent residence as long as they don't exceed 10 months being outside of Spain during this 5-year period. So what's the best residency program for you in Spain? Is it Golden Visa for entrepreneurs, professionals, or anyone, even a digital nomad who wants to buy an apartment? So why don't you just do it with the Golden Visa? Because it gives you more flexibility, right? But this real estate option is closing this April. Non-lucrative visa, best for retirees or people with passive income. So it could be just professionals who are just collecting rent, right? That's all you do. That's great. You're a landlord. Digital nomad visa, best for remote workers seeking short to medium term residency. What our final thoughts are: if you're looking for permanent residency in Spain, consider long-term goals. With the Golden Visa ending soon, the non-lucrative visa and digital nomad visa remain viable options, obtaining Spanish residency and potential EU citizenship, right? So the key is, what will happen to Spain after April 2025? What will happen to the Golden Visa program? Well, these are the things that we believe will happen. The Golden Visa 2.0 will be relaunched sometime maybe end of this year, and they will not have a real estate option. So it'll have all the other business and investment like Portugal options. But in the best case scenario, we believe that if there is still a real estate option, it will be geographically restricted, meaning certain regions of Spain you can still invest, right? Or maybe the investment will go higher. And certain regions, the metropolitan regions, you will not be able to invest, like Madrid, for example, or Barcelona, right? Because those are the highest demand, and the Golden Visa has pushed up prices in those regions as well. After April 2025, when the Golden Visa closes, you still have the non-lucrative visa and the digital nomad visa open. They're not going to change unless the government plans to make specific requirement changes for it, but they're not going to close. They're not investment-based programs linked to real estate. That is the only reason the Golden Visa for Spain is being revamped. So we call it the Golden Visa 2.0, which is going to be launched later this year. Is it going to be better? Is it going to be worse? Well, they're definitely taking real estate either completely off the table as an option, or partially, or perhaps even increasing the threshold for Golden Visa real estate investment, let's say to 1 million euros. But then if somebody wants to invest 500,000 euros to be eligible for the Golden Visa, then potentially they would have to do an investment fund or invest in Spanish businesses that can create jobs for the local economy. This is all very political. We're not going to get into that. But as you know, the flavor of the day across the globe right now is preventing foreign money incoming and inflating assets in the local economy and the market. So we've seen it in Canada, we've seen it in Portugal, we've seen it in Spain, and we believe that in the future more countries will follow suit. There you go, folks. Those are our final thoughts. And of course, if you are looking for updates and insights into EU or Spanish residency, whether it's Italy, whether it's Portugal, Greece, Spain, Malta, Cyprus, well, whether you're looking for citizenship options, tax efficient migration strategies, well, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel where we discuss the latest updates, fast track passports, and global mobility solutions for you, your family, or perhaps your clients. Get started with your Spanish residency if it is the right fit for you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll tune into our comments and questions today. And remember, folks, we customize solutions for your requirements. It's not a out of the box, one size fits all. These are very customized solutions based on your long-term goals, family, taxation, wealth preservation, and whether you're seeking citizenship or perhaps you're planning to move in the future, but not today, but you're planning to obtain that residency today to invest in that future. We have comprehensive insurance and client trust accounts with our North American banking institutions, and we protect your interests. Plus, our multilingual team speaks 10 languages, and we've helped clients from 55 different countries. Ready to take the next step? Click the link below to contact us below this video. And of course, you can also book a one-on-one session or get an assessment if you're eligible, so we can make a customized proposal for you. And of course, we're here on our YouTube Live, and I know Samvir is asking some questions. Samvir, nice to meet you again. Nice to see you as well. Samvir is asking, is the Canadian Immigration Department working on SUV? Seems no one getting updates regarding SUV applications. Well, there are some light updates, Samvir, but what's happened is they've cut their workforce. So before, they had higher targets, if you remember, 2023 and 4, and they did load balancing. They've spread out at that time these startup visa Canadian immigration cases across the different offices in Canada to meet those higher targets that they had set originally with their 3 or 5 year immigration plan. I don't really even look at those plans anymore because every 6 months it changes. So why would you even look at those? So now they've cut the workforce. They're not load balanced. So there's only a small team, who knows how big, who are working on SUV. So there's a huge backlog, and we're stuck with that, right? And that's what's happening right now. So there has to be patience. We do expect some traction with the older files this year. However, the priority processing, they will see traction too, but it's going to be slower than what everyone is expecting. It's not going to be as fast as we saw things moving in the last year and a half. It's being very slow since the new immigration targets from the government were revised end of last year. Everything is slowed down because I think they've fragmented or taken apart the departments and the people, and SUV is just down there, just like all the other programs, everything. Like if we have clients in some of these PNP programs, they're waiting for their PR after application for 2 years now. It is slow, so you have to keep that in mind. But remember, folks, with Canadian immigration, it's slow. It is the slowest in the world right now. I can guarantee you that. Okay, when we look at 20 programs across the globe, EU, New Zealand, US, South and Central America, right now Canada beats them all in terms of the slowest immigration. Yes, it is the fastest eligibility to a citizenship in the G7 countries, but getting a permanent residency is going to take time, right? So hopefully that patience will not run out for the applicants waiting for their Canadian permanent residency. We're looking at other programs, and if you haven't applied yet for Canada, I'd suggest looking at other countries potentially as well. Okay, folks, we're here every week on Thursdays answering your questions live. No problem, Samvir. And covering various topics in terms of residencies and citizenships across the globe. And that's the flavor of the day these days, right? People are looking for multiple passports or a residency or some kind of tax-friendly or crypto tax-friendly jurisdiction. And sometimes it's just for your plan B. You don't need to move right away. You've got a successful business back home, but you're like, hey, I may need something in the future. And that's your plan A. If you weren't subscribed to our newsletter, please let us know, because we are releasing our newsletter this end of this month, which is called the Plan B newsletter. And that's what everyone needs these days. I think post 2020, the Plan B is now significantly more important in everyday lives of people, families, and even business owners. Whether you're a remote worker, an entrepreneur, professional, or a retiree, whether your Plan B converts to Plan A in next week, in 6 months, or in 10 years, everyone has to plan ahead. It's like financial planning. You do need to plan for your retirement. Well, the same with residencies and citizenships. It's not a pizza where you can order it and in 30 minutes or your money back, you'll get it. There are a lot of changes, policies, governments, and sometimes it takes time. Thanks for joining us, folks, and hopefully we'll see you soon. We're going to post more videos over the next coming week on various topics, and we do have field trips coming up for Panama and Italy in 2025 in the month of April and May. If you're a potential partner or an investor looking to obtain a residency in any of these countries, let us know, because we're hosting a field trip to visit these countries, to look at the projects, talk to the government, talk to the banks, and understand before you make that decision for you or your clients. Okay, thanks again, folks. Take care. We'll see you next week, Thursday, 11 a.m. North American Standard Eastern Time. Take care. Bye-bye.